Reintroduction is a method of restoring wildlife to their former habitat. Successful reintroduction is low, as they are often linked to physiological stress response that occurs after release. Physiological stress response is the brain's way of coping or reducing stress once in the presence of something stressful. Animals that suffer with an elevated stress hormone are often more prone to aggression. African elephant reintroduction is to help increase populations as well as restore small next to extinct populations. Early attempts of reintroduction of African elephants has resulted in abnormal and destructive behaviours. By young males after introduction of large adult bulls, there were attacks on more than 100 white rhinos and a few critically endangered black rhinos, as well as 4 separate populations of non-aggressive females that have been recorded to have killed humans, which has been linked to them having an elevated glucocorticoid stress hormone concentration. What is the glucocorticoid stress hormone? The adrenal gland secretes glucocorticoid hormones that can help mediate stress and helps replenish energy to the body to respond to the stressor. This experiment, the delayed physiological acclimatization by African elephants following reintroduction, was conducted to assess if factors such as climate, rainfall, temperature and socializing can affect their stress hormones. Methods. They studied elephants reintroduced to 5 fenced reserves. They collected fecal samples from each reserve, avoiding pseudo-replication by observation, GPS collar tracking and comparing bolus size. They recorded time, age and location of collection of all samples. Fecal glucocorticoid metabolite concentrations were extracted. Collection and measuring concentrations were then repeated. Seasons were also classified on temperature and rainfall. Results. They collected 1,567 samples between 2000 and 2006. They found FGMs were 23% higher during the dry season, which can be linked to availability of water and foraging, less available water in the dry season, which can be stressful. There is also a link to sensitivity of species and the intensity and duration of stressors. FGMs fluctuate to availability of key nutrients in foraging, and human disturbance such as tourism and hunting, as well as stochastic events such as catastrophic fires. Short-term elevations of FGMs were related to acute environmental stresses, including daily maximum temperature and rainfall. But after a long term of 10 years, at a population level, they have an elevated stress response after reintroduction. FGMs varied in response to longer-term patterns of rainfall and maximum temperature, and there was no evidence of a direct effect of reserve size or elephant density on FGMs. The conservation issue. Successive reintroduction is low, which is a huge conservation issue, as it is a tool for population and species management, and it doesn't occur. With reintroduction, animals are prone to aggression due to an elevated stress hormone, which not only is causing excess stress to individuals, but can be dangerous when taking out their aggression on others. Their aggression has been taken out on other species, attacks against animals including in critically endangered species, risking the conservation efforts of other organisations. An elevated stress hormone can have multiple pathological and behavioural consequences, affecting mental and physical health, which can not only affect the individuals, but populations as a whole. With attacks on people, this then limits tourist opportunities. In relation to conservation, it means less opportunities to educate, to raise money, and for other businesses and organisations to get involved, due to the lack of money coming in by tourists, and it can also affect observation and research opportunities. It is important to learn and understand the amount of time needed for animals to acclimatise after they have been released. Also to ensure we understand what factors cause this elevated stress response, and what procedures should be put in place to prevent or reduce this.